before getting too far into the testing, what you guys are going to want to make sure is that you're plenty warmed up. Okay, ideally you haven't actually worked out this day, because a max testing day, especially speed and power stuff, is pretty intense on the body. So you're going to want to be pretty fresh. You're going to want to go through a foam rolling and mobility routine and then a good warm up. And I've done videos on foam rolling and warming up in the past. So I'll just link those at somewhere on the screen or down below if you guys need some ideas. Now, what we're going to do first, we're going to start with the most basic exercise here, the most basic test, and that's going to be the single leg broad jump. And the reason we start with the single leg broad jump and work our way into the double leg, the 10-yard and the 40-yard, is because it's the easiest, it's the most simplistic, and it's going to take the least toll on our body. So we're going to basically use these drills to warm up to our most intense exercise. What I'm going to want to do is set my measuring tape on one of those hatched lines if I have it, so that I have a good, easy place to start. And then I want to ensure that my measuring tape is as straight as possible to avoid any mistakes in measuring. And then from there, simply enough, I'm going to take my stance for the single leg broad, and in that stance, I'm on one leg. I'm going to use my arms for some momentum, and I'm going to jump as far as I can, landing on two legs. From there, I'm going to measure from my closest heel, and that's going to be my value. After a few practice jumps, you're then going to take 3 jumps off of each leg and record those numbers. That highest value is going to be the one we compare against when we retest at the end of the off season. So next we're going to be measuring our double leg broad jump, in which you're going to want to set up very similarly to the single leg with your toes behind the line, but this time I recommend having your measuring tape in between your legs because it'll make it a little bit easier to measure. Instead of jumping off one leg, you're jumping off 2. The landing's the same and you're still measuring from your closest heel. Similarly, for the single leg broad jumps, we're going to take 3 jumps that we're counting, and we're going to use that highest value to compare against at the end of the off season. Your jump doesn't count if you stumble backwards or if you stumble forward. Try to land solidly with both feet and measure there. So now that we have our broad jumps measured, both single leg and double leg, next up we're going into our 10-yard dash and our 40-yard dash. So what you'll need for this one, again, ideally you've got some sort of marker set up. Again, I'm just using the 10-yard lines on this football field. If you don't have that, again, what you can do is take a measuring tape and measuring it out yourself until you get to 10, and then putting a cone at each. Now traditionally, the highest level version of testing of this is going to be using a laser, where we have a laser at the 0 and a laser at the 10. So when you start, timer starts, and when you get to the 10, timer stops. Okay, the second best thing is you have a partner, and that partner, you're going to say ready, set, go, or they're going to count you down. You go, they hit start. As soon as you cross that line, they hit stop. Okay, if we're alone, we don't have that. The third way is to use a tripod or something you can just put your phone up and hold up and have both cones in view. With your camera in position and both cones in view, you're going to start toes behind the line. Essentially, you're just going to run as fast as you can, crossing that second cone. And what we'll do later is take this footage and break it down second by second using a video editor, and we'll count out exactly how long it takes to get right from that first cone to cross that second cone. The process is exactly the same for the 40-yard dash, though this time we have to set up our camera much farther away to make sure we're in view. I highly recommend setting it up so that you're at an angle so you can see yourself when you start and when you stop. Just like our jumping drills, I want you to all perform 3 of the 10-yard and 3 40-yard dashes, taking a few minutes in between each dash to let yourself rest. It's also worth mentioning that if you do have a partner, you can time this the old-fashioned way. I recommend that the timer starts behind the end line, counts down 3, 2, 1, go, and stops as soon as their body crosses the line. And there you have it. They're the basics for measuring power and speed to get ready for your off-season. No matter what off-season you all are participating in, it's important to have some starting metrics so that you can go back and actually see that you've made progress. If you guys have any questions or are interested in participating in the off-season that I'm running, drop a comment down below. We've got a bunch of athletes going through it right now. We're a few weeks in and we're just now starting our testing, so there's plenty of time to get in before things get rolling. So again, please drop a comment. Again, if you like this kind of video and want more of it, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.